Good morning, everyone. So, in the last class, we discussed about the derivative contract and their various types like forward contract, future contract, and option contract. So, while discussing, we saw that how a future contract is differ from forward contract. So, and then we also discussed the various types in option contract. Basically, there are two types. One is call option, another one is put option. So, call option A means it which gives a right to buy an underlying asset. Whoever purchase the option, call option, he will get a right to buy underlying asset, and whoever purchase the put option will get a right to sell underlying asset. So in the first unit, we just briefly saw what exactly derivative contract and what are the basic types of derivative contract. So there is one more concept in derivative market, that is its trading mechanism and the different types of order. So in the last class, in the previous class, I explained how we can trade future contract and option contract in demat form, in demat account. But in the olden days, in the earlier when it introduced, there were a concept called a open outcry system. There was no online trading. Basically, there was face-to-face interaction trading was there. So that system is called open outcry system. So in this class, first we'll discuss how we can the trading mechanism of future and option in the digital form, that is in online through demat account, and later we'll discuss how the trading mechanism of future and option in open outcry system in the earlier version of trading. See, in the last class, we discussed how we can purchase and sell uh, a particular product in Demat account. See, basically the same steps involved both in online form and in non-Demat form also. That is face-to-face trading also. There are some of the important steps or the procedure we have to follow for the purpose of trading. So, what are the basic steps you need to follow in the trading process? The first one is product identification. So, in both digital form and in non-digital form also, you need to identify your product. Product is nothing but the investment avenue in which product you are going to invest. You are going to park your money. So that you have to identify. If you take example, you are going to invest in future contract, so you decided the style of the investment, that is future. Then you have to identify the nature of the underlying asset, whether you are going for agricultural product, whether you are going for stocks, whether you are going for index. So in Indian market we have stock and index options are available. So either we can go for stock futures or we can go for index future also. So first identify the nature of the style of investment avenues, whether you are going for future or option. Then identify the nature of the underlying asset like agricultural product, stock or index. So once you decided the style of the underlying asset or the nature of the underlying asset, then you have to see its what price and its quantity and the value, trading value, that is trading value help us to identify how many buyers and how many sellers are available at the present situation. So if the value is high, so that means the liquidity of that underlying asset is high. So when there is a liquidity is high, so the execution of the contract is quick. So there is no possibility of pending of order. So you have to see. So there are some other criteria you have to look for while selecting or while identifying the product. So if you are going for option also, while selecting option for option contract and also for future contract, you need to identify the expiry date. You have to identify the strike price. Then yeah, of course, before identifying all those, you have to conduct technical analysis or fundamental analysis. With that, you can identify its a true value. So based on that true value, you can go for a call option or put option. So if it is undervalued, for example, if the underlying assets price is undervalued in the market, then you can go for call option. If the underlying product is fundamentally good, then you can go for taking long position, or you can go for call option. If it is overpriced, then you can go for a short position. In the option market, you can go for put option. You can take put option. Similarly, you can identify or you can take uh, the index option or index future also. So that is the first step. Depending upon your objectives, depending upon the market situation and the availability of unit price, you need to identify your product in which particular underlying asset you are going to invest. So that is the first step, product identification. In simple word, choosing a right investment avenue. Choosing and right investment avenue is the first step, product identification. So there is no standard or rule, or there is no standard procedure for selection of investment avenues. Like, so one person's optimum investment avenue is differ from another, because the purpose of investment or the objective of investment is different from one person to another. So somebody may interested to earn gain, and somebody may interested to get growth. So if the purpose is different, the product will be differ. So therefore product identification is purely depend on the investors and his profile. So he has to choose a right investment avenue which suits his profile. So that is the first step. You have to go for product identification. Once you decide it, in which investment avenues you are going to invest, then next step is placing of order. Placing of order is a very simple procedure in a demat account or in a digital form. Digital form, there is no much complexity for placing of an order. Just you can click buy button, then you have to select the type of order. You have to select the type of order, and you have to select the quantity you are going to purchase and the price, at what price you are going to purchase. So once you decide all those what you, all those conditions, then you tell you are telling your broker, then I'm ready to buy a particular underlying asset. So you intimate to your broker. So everything should done under the broker, the buying and selling. Without a broker, we cannot execute any contract. So for every investor, there should be a broker. So you have to tell your broker that I want to purchase particular so and so company for a certain price. So once you intimate to your broker, the broker will consider that, and he will intimate to the stock exchange members. So there will be one uh, members are there. So he will take in charge of execution of the contract in the stock market. So here first is the investor. Three parties involved, three parties normally. You can take. three parties. One is investor, then yeah, first one is investor. Just a minute. Okay, investor, that is, so after investor intimate to his broker. Okay, then broker intimate to a member of the stock market who will execute the contract. So this is the stock market. Uh, Likewise, this side also, broker of seller. Okay, here seller. So this one is the buyer. Buyer intimate to a broker that I want 100 units of gold. 100 units of gold at uh, rupees 300 per ounce. Then broker intimate to a member of the stock market. He will check whether there is enough a number of seller on the other hand. So if there is enough number of, or if there is any seller who is ready to take this contract, particular contract, then he will intimate to broker. Then broker will ask the money from investor. Here also, if any person ready to sell underlying asset, then you have to approach broker. Broker intimate member that one person is ready to sell. So if this media or the member of the stock market is check whether there is enough number of buyer, then he will intimate to the broker of the seller that so much quantity is available for buying. Then he will intimate to the seller to exchange the underlying asset. So this is the process will take place normally in digital form also, uh, and even in non-digital form. Okay, so this is the situation. Placing of order, how the placing of order. Once you decided to buy, then you have to intimate to the broker, and broker intimate to the member of the exchange. So likewise, it happens. Then once the price is decided, then the execution of the order will be taken place. So in the execution of the order, in Demat account, it is very simple. So everything is happened in within a fraction of seconds. So everything is done by the software. But in olden days, we had a system called open outcry system. Since open outcry system is nothing but the trading is taken place in the stock market itself, and the place is called pit. So that is called, the place is called pit, and the process is called open outcry system. Face to face trading. Face to face trading is called open outcry system, and the place where it happens is called pit. And then, so in the pit, that is the area where certain contract is taken, there will be large number of people will come. uh, Normally broker will come, brokers or traders, they will come. Sometime broker or sometime trader themselves, they will go to that place and they will try to what execute the contract. So that is the open outcry system. So for a better understanding of open outcry system, so there is one video is there, one video is there, you can understand about open outcry system. See this video. This is about open outcry, how open outcry system will happens in the stock market. So this place is called a pit, and yeah, this person, the person who wearing a black jacket, he is a member of the stock market, and these are the people who are wearing yellow jackets are called traders or brokers. So on behalf of investor, they are uh, come to this place and they will communicate with the member of the stock market. The people who are wearing black jacket are the member of the stock exchange. They will so the people who are wearing yellow jackets are the broker. So you have to tell how many content I want to purchase to the these brokers. They will communicate to a member of the stock market. See here, in open outcry system, the number of stocks and whether they are going to buy or sell the underlying asset, everything is done. The communication is through the hand signals. So there will be no verbal communication. There is just the hand signal. They have to tell how many quantity they are going to buy at what price and whether they're going to buy or sell through hand signal. Just observe. So they will see here once order is placed, they will write it down in one book, a short book. Then they will intimate to the exchange, and after it done, they will state at what price the contract is executed. See, in open outcry system, how one can decide whether you are going to buy or sell. So just by palm, if the palm of hand is facing towards the face, then he is going to buy underlying asset. If the palm of the hand is showing away from the body, then he is going to sell. Then by using the fingers, he can what state or he can indicate how many quantity he are going to purchase or sell. So this is the basically a training session for the trader. Then how they can trace out whether the broker going to buy or sell the uh, underlying asset. See.
Somebody who is trying to work their way up to this, which is broke. That is where you have to start. That's what it is. And nobody comes down expecting to be in the yellow.
Okay. So that is the open outcry system. If you look at, so there are more than 3,000 or 4,000 people will come. Some people are intent to buy and some people are intent to sell. See, just how we can buy and sell in the open outcry system. So everything is in hand signal. See here, if the palm of the hand is facing the body of the proposer, means broker or trader, it implies that he or she intend to buy. And when the palm of the hand is facing away from the body, that implication is that here, say, seller. See here, the figure 7.1a, the palm of the hand facing toward his face, so that means he is decided, he is the buyer. And this one, the figure 7.1b, the palm of the hand away from the body, so that means he is the seller. So once first he has to intimate, or he has to indicate whether he is buyer or seller to the member of the exchange. First he has to state whether he is going to buy or sell. Once he decided to buy or sell, then he has to shake his finger in vigorously to state at the price of the at what price he is going to buy or sell the underlying asset. So first thing, he has to indicate whether he is buyer or seller. Of course, the underlying asset is what announced by the member of the exchange. The first, the member of the exchange will announce. For example, the Tata Motors. The member of the exchange will intimate to the broker that we are now the auction is Tata Motors. So once they announce, if anybody are ready to buy, then they have to show their hands like this. If anybody who is ready to sell, then they has to show their hands this way. After that, they have to shake their fingers like vigorously. Then that means they are quoting their price. They are quoting their price. So they can, how they can quote their price? So that is by using their fingers. See these figures, figure number 7.2. So this implies 0, and this one is 1, 2, 3, 4, like that. For example, if he wants to purchase underlying asset at for 23 rupees, 23 rupees, then he have to show 2 and 3 like this way. And for example, if he wants to purchase for 48, then he has to show like this, 4 and 8. And quantity also similar way, how many quantity he wants to buy or sell, same way he has to indicate. So this is the flow chart of trading mechanism of future and option, also both in digital form also and open outcry system. So this is the best representation of open outcry system. So this is the customer A who wants to buy underlying asset, so he can intimate his broker that I want to purchase a certain underlying asset. Then broker, he will intimate the representative of his one person in the pit. So this is the total, this one is called pit. Pit floor, floor of trading. Floor of trading, we call it a floor of trading. So he has to intimate to the representative. Either directly he can go to that place and he can execute the contract. Or sometime what happens, the broker will appoint one more person on behalf of broker to trade or to execute in pit or in the market floor. So he will intimate to this broker and he will ask with the deal struck. These are the member of the exchange. They will see how many buyers are ready to buy and how many sellers are the ready to sell at what price. So they will execute the contract. They will take in charge for the execution of the contract and to decide the price. So dissemination of price and other information will happen in the deal struck. So this is the matching. If the matching system means this broker is ready to buy 100 quantity and this broker is ready to sell 100 quantity. So then it match. So once it match, then the deal struck will take struck. They will take in charge to buy and sell the contract. So other hand, if any person who is ready to sell, then he has to approach his broker. Broker will intimate to his representative in the pit market or the market floor. Then he will intimate the member of the exchange. So once the order is done, then he again it go back like this. Once the order is done, then confirmation will take place. Yeah. So this is normally the trading mechanism will happens in the digital market as well as in the open outcry system. And the next concept here is the type of trader. In the last class, I explained in how many ways we can purchase one underlying asset. The type of trader, yes. So in the stock market, when the price of the uh, well traded securities are quoted, so they can purchase at any price. So there are some of the important types of orders are there. The first one is the market order. So what is market order? Market order is nothing but you have to purchase particular underlying asset at a market price which is available at that situation. So you are purchasing or selling the underlying asset at the prevailing market price. So that is the market order. And uh, the best thing in market order is the liquidity is high. So that means, for example, you are going to sell 100 quantity at price of 120. So if there is enough number of buyer on the other hand, then full quantity will be executed. If there is no enough number of uh, seller is ready on the other hand, for example, you want to sell 100 quantity for 120, but only 80 sellers are ready to sell at 120 and remaining 20 sellers are ready to sell for 119. So if you choose market order, then your order will be executed. 80 quantity will be executed for the price of 120 and the remaining 20 quantity will be executed for the rate of 119. So liquidity is high, but the chances is whatever the market price at that situation, the order will be executed. So that is the market order. And the next one is limit order. In limit order, you can limit or you can decide at what price you want to purchase. Here, depending upon the market situation, in market order, everything is decided by the market. Once you choose market order, then click market, the contract will be executed at the market price. But in limit order, you decide at what price the contract will be executed. So I want to purchase 100 quantity of Tata Steel for 1200. Then I have to choose, I have to write 1200. If the market prices reaches to 1200, then only my contract, my order will be executed. Otherwise, my order will be cancelled or still pending. See, in the market order, there will be no question of pending because whatever the market price you are selling, you are buying at market price. But in limit order, you decided I want to buy at particular price. If the market reaches that price, then only I purchase. Otherwise, I will cancel my order. So that is the what is the fundamental of this limit order. The fixed at you are buying or selling at a fixed price, so that is called limit order. So what happens, for example, same example, your one person is ready to buy 100 quantity of one particular underlying asset, 100 quantity at a rupees of 120. But on the other hand, there is 80 sellers are ready to sell at rupees 120 and remaining are ready for 119. But you fixed the limit price is 120. So that means only 80 quantity will be executed. The remaining 20 quantity will be still pending. So this is happens in the limit order. So in limit order, you can fix the price, but in market order, uh, whatever the market price, the order will be executed. So in specified price, this is the important term. Here specified price, here prevailing price in the market. Then next one is a stop loss order. Sometimes what happens, we purchase the underlying asset, but suddenly the market falls by 10 rupees or 50 rupees. It is very difficult to watch the market entire day. So the people who feel difficult to trace the market or watch the market entire day, what they can do, they put a stop loss order for their buying or selling. Like, for example, I purchased 100 quantity of stocks for rupees 150. I purchased 100 quantity of stocks for rupees 150. But there is a chance that market price of that underlying asset may go up or go down. So I want to limit my loss if it goes below the certain level. I purchased at 150. Okay, I can take 5 rupees as a loss. The maximum loss I can take is 5 rupees. So more than that I cannot take. uh, if the market falls, I cannot take more than 5 rupees as a loss. So what I can do, 150 is the price I purchased, I can put stop loss for 145. So what happens if you put a stop loss? If you put stop loss, then whenever the market price reaches or trigger that price stop loss, then your order will be executed. Means it will be square up by the automatically square up by uh, the broker. So that is called stop loss order. The main purpose of stop loss is to minimize the loss, even sometimes minimize the profit. So we need certain minimum profit. I purchased at 150, and it is very difficult to. I don't have time to watch the market till it reaches to certain price. So what I can do, I have some expectation that market price will go for 155. I purchased it 150, so 5 rupees profit is enough for me. So what I can do, I can put stop loss order for 155. So this is the called stop loss order. In stop loss order, we have two types. One is stop loss market, and the other one is stop loss limit. Stop loss market means again, once the market price of the underlying asset is reaches your stop loss limit, sorry, stop loss price, then the order will be executed at the market price. In case of stop loss market, in case of stop loss market, if the price of the underlying asset trigger or reaches the stop loss price, then your order will be executed at the market price. So that is stop loss market. In case of a stop loss limit order, here once the price of the underlying asset reaches its stop loss limit price, then your order will be executed at the limit price. Limit price means the price at which you specified. Means consider this one limit. uh, he purchased for 3188, particular purchased at 3188, and he put a limit price for 3182, a 6 rupees difference. He put 3182. So if the market price reaches to 3182, then your order will be executed. See, sometimes what happens, 3183, from 3183 it suddenly jumped to 3180. At that time your order will not be executed because market did not reach 82, it suddenly jumped to 80, but your price is 82. So the order will be executed only when the market price of that underlying reaches to 82. But in case of market order, once it reaches the stop loss limit or stop loss price, it automatically execute at the market price. But here you fix this limit, therefore it will execute only on the limit. If it is not reaches the that price, then your order will be pending for the day. And next one, fill or kill order. Fill or kill order means immediate or cancel. See, normally what happens, particularly in case of limit order, you decided to purchase one underlying asset for a specified price. So you put the order. Consider I want to purchase uh, Hindalco stock price. So at the price of 390, but the current market price is 395. I want to purchase at 390. So my expectation is in throughout the day it will someday or some point of time it will come to 390. So if it come to 390, then my order will be executed. Otherwise, if it not come to 390, my order will be cancelled. So at that time, I have two situation: fill or kill order. Fill or kill order means when I put the order, when I put the order, if there is a enough number of buyer and seller, then execute the contract. Otherwise, cancel the order. Otherwise, cancel the order. Immediate or cancel means I put the order, so I can wait only 2 or 3 seconds. If there is no buyer and seller, then cancel that order. So that is the fill or kill order. And market if, the next one is market if touched, is similar to limit order, but it automatically becomes the order at predetermined price is reached. So this is happened at the time of when you are going to purchase or when you are going to sell. At the time only you decide or you put the stop loss order or the limit order. So if the market price reaches your limit price, then your order will be become market order and execute. So that is the type market if test. And next one is good till cancel. So this is the opposite of fill or kill order. See, in fill or kill order or immediate or cancel, where it takes it wait for only 2 or 3 seconds. If there is no buyer and seller, it will be cancelled. But in good till cancelled means uh, the order will be still pending. For example, I put order for 390, but the current market price 395. Today it did not came for 390. So then the order will be carry forward for the next day. So it will be still pending. The order will be still pending until I cancel that order. So the position will be still pending until I'll cancel the order. So that's why it is called a good till cancelled. And next one is day order or good for the day. Uh, this is normally happens in the day trading. Day trading. So if you put the order and market is not reached at your specified price, so it will wait till the day only. So your position will be open. Your the position will be open only for day. So the next day it will be cancelled. So this is called day order or good for the day. So I'll explain what happens in the demat account. Just a minute. Yeah, yeah. Here, see how to identify. This is one nothing but product identification. The first step is the product identification. So I can go for equity, I can go for future index or future stocks. For example, I'll take option a stock, uh, then option stock of any company. You can choose any ACC. So ACC Limited, I'll buy ACC Limited. Call option or put option, you can choose any call option. And this one is the expiry date. So choose expiry date. And this one is the strike price. So current market price of the ACC Limited, you can check somewhere else. Current market price of ACC stock. So see here, the stock price, ACC stock price. Okay. Okay, 2034. The current market price of ACC Limited is the 2034. Okay, I'm optimistic about the market. So I'm expecting by the end of 29/7, so the market price will go 2080. For 1 month, okay, I will take 2100 and I'll click go. So the current the premium is 32 rupees is the premium. So I have to pay 32 rupees, but there will be lot size of 500. Now, whenever you are going to purchase, see here the product type is the type of whether you are going for intraday or you are going for delivery or normal. Normal is for you can keep it for more than 1 day. Intraday means you can keep it only for day. So if you click a normal, then see order type. So far we discussed the type of order. So in India, Indian stock market or in is based broker, we have only four type of order. These are the four important types of orders. That is the limit order and market order, stop loss limit and stop loss market. So what is the limit order? So limit order. So if I select limit, current market price is 33. See the current market price 33, but I want to purchase it for, if I select a limit, sorry, if I select limit, so I want to purchase at 30. Limit current market price 33, but I want to purchase 30, so that is the limit. And how many quantity I want, so of course there will be standardized, so lot size is 500, so I can purchase multiple of 500. So if I click buy, and if I click buy, the order will be pending, but when the current market price reaches to 30, my order will be execute. So that is the limit order. And what is the market order? So if I select market order, so there will be no option for the specification of price, only quantity how to choose. Quantity 500, I want to purchase 500 quantity. Price will be executed at the market price, that is 33.30. Here I cannot specify the price at which I want to purchase, so that is the market price. And so once you decided to you already purchased, for example you already purchased, but there is a fear that the market price suddenly go down or it may go up. So but if it falls, suddenly falls a huge fall, then I'm not ready to take such loss, heavy loss. I'm not ready to take such loss. So what I can do, I can put a loss, a stop loss. So here, see, there will be two options: a stop loss limit and stop loss market. So first I will explain how we can place an order for stop loss limit. The quantities underlying asset is same, ACC option. The premium amount is 33.40 and I want to buy for normal delivery. Then order type I selected, I choose stop loss limit. So when you select limit, you can choose the price. So here the price I want to purchase at 33 or 30. I want to purchase at 30, and this is the stop loss trigger price. Trigger price means, okay, I want to purchase 30. So once the order is executed at 30, if the market price goes below 28, then automatically a square off, automatically sell. So I am fixing a trigger price. So this is the stop loss limit. I I want to purchase at 30. If my order is executed at 30, then I will wait until it goes up, for example 35, 38, 39. Okay, that is the profit for me. But once the order is executed for 30, I purchased for 30. But if the market falls, I'm not ready to take huge loss. If the market falls and it reaches to 28, then exit my contract. Exit contract means sell it. Sell it immediately at 28. So that is the limit, stop loss limit. And stop loss market means here, of course, the buying or selling it will be happens at a market price 33.40. But if the market goes below 28 price, then trigger. So your order will be automatically order will be become the market order. So it will sell for rupees 28. So that is the stop loss market. So this is the four important types of order you should understand before going for trading. This stop loss market, it is very helpful. Minimum. Sometime what happens, we put the order, but we forget. Sometimes we forget about uh, we ordered, so we have some other works, so it happens. Suddenly the market fall and we may incur huge loss. So in order to avoid such situation or circumstance, we put a stop loss order. Okay. Yes. Now if you have any doubt regarding today's class, like trading mechanism and type of order, you can ask. Please, if you have any doubt, I know that it is very difficult to explain these concepts through online class. But if you have any doubt or any curiosity about stock market, you can ask. Students, are you there?
Yes, yes, sir.
Okay, if you have any doubt, you can ask. No doubt.
So it was clear.
Okay. If you hesitate to ask that questions in class, you can personally contact me. If you have any doubt regarding subject, you can ask me. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you.